All right, welcome everyone to session 4 of the Hall of the Dwarven King campaign. Now, where we left off, we have undertaken a few jobs for Balin. First was to go to Gathel Zigil to help one of his friends try and find his lost father, or what had happened to his lost father. The other was to go to back to Gathel Zigil because we had failed to properly bury King Dror, whose tomb had been ransacked. And so we went back and took care of that. We also took care of some bandits. And then on our third quest, we went back to that bandit lair and vanquished several fell spirits that had taken over the ruins of this tower. And then up at the top of the tower, we found the remains of a king who had his crown nailed to his skull, and there was an arrow sticking out of his chest where one of his faithful servants had put him out of his misery. And we removed that crown from his head and put him to rest back down in the subterranean chambers. And then Balin gave us the big quest. He told us that Khazad-dûm, the place of the dwarves, the Hall of the Dwarven King, had fallen years past after the dwarves had awoken something in the deep. And it was their homeland, and he was forbidden to go there by Dane Ironfoot. After the Battle of the Five Armies, Dane said, "Let no dwarf go back into Moria. It is lost. It is far too difficult a challenge." But Balin, there's a fire that burns within him, and he desperately wants to reclaim his homeland. And he is forbidden, but we have not taken these same vows. And so he has tasked us with simply seeing if it's feasible. And then at some point, maybe he will approach Dane and say, "Look, King Dane, I think there's a way." Well, we need to help him find that way. And he has asked us to first travel to Rivendell, to counsel with Elrond, and then to go to Moria, and to see if we can, one, get in, and two, to bring back something that will show him that there is indeed value still left in those halls, and something worth fighting for. And so we journeyed to Rivendell. And upon arriving, we did have a council with Elrond, and he gave us wise counsel. He warned us that the path would be dangerous, but he also said that perhaps it was time for this to take place. I'm going to go ahead and reread Elrond's council notes to us. He says, "You seek the way into Khazad-dûm, into Moria, as men name it. There is but one door that still may be found, and that lies in the stony vale east of Caradhras. Azan-Ulbizar, the dwarves call it, Nanduhirian in our tongue. In the common speech, it is Dimrill Dale. It has had many names, for many ages, and in each age it has seen glory and ruin both. When Durin the Deathless first came there, it was a fair valley, thick with trees. He wandered beneath their boughs until he found the dark cave mouth that would become the east gate of Moria. In time, the dale was a city in its own right, filled with fortresses, houses, markets, and the laughter of many peoples. A great road ran through, joining the dwarf road in Greenwood, the great, to the crossings of the Anduin. It was once a crossroads of Middle-earth. But war came, Sauron's hosts laid siege there in the elder days. Though the gates of Moria did not fall, all that stood without them was destroyed. And later still, when the dwarves abandoned Khazad-dûm, the dale grew silent and fearful. Treasure-seekers and wanderers forgot whose hands had carved its stones, and remembered it only as a place of shadows. It was here that Frór, last king under the mountain before, was cruelly slain by Azog the Defiler. That crime lit the fire of the war of the dwarves and orcs, which ended in the great battle of Azan-Ulbizar. The orc was slain, yet the dwarves dared not enter the gate. They burned their dead and departed, leaving the dale to emptiness. Even now the dale is a bleak and haunted valley. Few birds wheel above it. Wild goats cling to the upper slopes, and rats fester in the ruins. Wargs prowl the lower road, though they dare not come near the shadow of Lorien's border. The wind moans in the crumbling stair, and the grass grows over the broken stones. All the songs and cries that once filled that valley have fallen silent. And yet, Mirrormere still lies there, deep and dark, with its crown of stars shining ever upon it. Even in ruin, beauty abides. Know this, the east gate is the only way into Khazad-dûm. The orcs within have long been hemmed by the watchfulness of the elves of Lorien, but their malice has not diminished. To stir them may bring peril upon many beside yourselves, yet there is a change upon the air, though I cannot yet name it. Some shadow gathers in the east, and the old places of darkness may be stirred to wakefulness. Perhaps the hour has come to see if Moria may be redeemed, and a great evil rooted out. But tread warily. The fate of more than yourselves may hang upon what you do. And so it would seem that his wise counsel would be to seek the Dimrill Dale, the eastern gate. The only downside is it lies on the other side of the mountain. Now we have, I think we spent 21 days here so that we could recover from our injuries. Haldor was grievously wounded in our last battle, and so we have time here. And we can spend that time looking through the great library of Elrond, finding what lore we might be able to find about the Dimrill Dale or about Moria. And I'm going to let each of you give me a lore roll to see what we can find. And we find nothing. Well, so much for going to the library. All right. So what you find rumors. So in the One Ring, there are rumors and lore. The rumors are kind of hearsay and maybe true. The lore is what really happened. You were unable to find anything that seems to be from a trustworthy account. You do hear a few rumors of the Dimrill Stair. There's a pass over the Misty Mountains near the ruins of Old Moria called the Redhorn Pass. Though steep, it's often easier in summer than the High Pass, and you don't have to pay the tolls demanded by the Beornings. But there are orcs there, and worse than orcs, so be on your guard. The way to the pass from the east is up past the waterfall. Now, we're coming from the west, so we should find some sort of waterfall that may be our guide into the Dimrill Dale if we take the Redhorn Pass. And it is not summer, it's now autumn. And so we want to beat the snows, and so we should go soon. We also hear that in the Dimrill Dale there are barrows, where those who fell in the battle of Azanulbazar are laid to rest. But it is said that they do not rest soundly. And then rumors of the east gate of Moria, that King Frór entered Moria by the eastern gate, for it was open when he came to it, but orcs waited in ambush in the darkness within, and slew the king unjustly. Is there any undertakings, anything you want to do in Rivendell before you head out on this first great leg of your journey to Moria?
I don't believe so.
All right, let's go to a map. Let me pull us all to the campaign journey map. So from this map, I can kind of show you the the way that would be the shortest, it would be to go from Rivendell down along Holland and then through the Redhorn Pass to the Eastern Gate. Another option is to go further and to come down through this pass. That pass is it's a further distance, and Elrond warns you that the ruins at Ost in Edhill may prove to have watchful eyes that you may not want to let see you. What way do you propose to journey?
I think we should avoid watchful eyes where we can.
Agreed.
Anyone have any other counsel before we set our path?
I don't believe so.
All right, let me make our... let me go to our journey page. All right, so Elrond says this journey should take less than 2 weeks, hopefully 9 to 10 days. And the going may prove to be relatively easy. This takes place in the Wildlands, and so there's no modifier to our journey event roll. Sometimes you might roll, if it's in the Borderlands, Safe Lands, you would make it a favored roll. If it's in the Darklands, which when we get into Moria, and we journey in Moria, it counts as Darklands. So it'll be an ill-favored roll on the journey event table. But for now, does anyone want to change their role as far as Guide, Hunter, Lookout, and Scout? Is everyone okay with where they're at?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, I need a travel
Yeah, feeling
roll.
extra confident about hunting these days.
In fact, didn't you improve your hunting?
I got the Bracelet of the Elk.
Aha, excellent.
I've got some elvish blessing guiding my hands.
Perfect. Well, let's get a travel roll from our guide.
Well,
That's okay. That's okay. Let me see who the target of the first event will be.
sorry, dwarves. It's always the dwarves, it seems like.
It's going to be the hunter. So, you spoke it into existence here. So this will take place 1 hex away, basically 1 day away from where we start. Let me see what the event will be. Ill choices. So you'll need to make a hunting roll, and if the roll fails, then you will gain 1 shadow point. Now, what this ill choice might be is you are not far from Rivendell. You've only been traveling about a day, and you spot a stag in the woods, and you know that this would provide you meat for several days. But you're still in elvish lands, and so depending on your role, your hunting role, you may decide, you know what, this may not be a great place to do it, or perhaps hunger will drive you. Before you roll, how would you feel, Haldor, about this? And depending on your feelings, I'm going to give you a bonus die.
Yeah, I think being familiar with the elves and their culture, I'm going to be careful not to do hunting too close to their homes with creatures that they like a whole bunch. I think I want to make sure to kind of get out of the elven woods and make sure I'm kind of hunting normal beasts.
Yeah, you're kind of, trying to make that estimation. Am I far enough away that this would be okay? So you can add a bonus die to your hunting roll.
Now, do I get a default 2 dice with the Bracelet of the Elk, or is that only if I expend
only
a hope
if you
point
spend
with
hope.
it? Okay. We will take just the regular bonus and take a shot.
Nice. Excellent. And with a great success, tell me what happens. Were you far enough away that you feel comfortable with this, or did you decide to err on the side of caution?
Yeah, they were far enough away. I found a good, nice, meaty hog to fell and take back to camp to share with the group.
Nice. And with that bonus die, there will be ample food for everyone there. Let me just put this on our travel log. Okay, perfect. And let me just mark this on our map. And that is 2 fatigue for everyone. Put that on there. And let me just make this note. Okay, let's do another travel roll. All right. This is unfamiliar land for you, Link, and so it's a little bit difficult to really get your bearing on here. Oh, and you know what, Haldor, you were correct. So if it's a magical item, you just get that benefit when you make that skill roll. It's not when you spend hope. So you should have gotten that benefit. So yeah, thankfully it all ended up well. But yeah,
Passed either way.
Yeah, I
But,
got thinking like I think there is something special about that. So I did just happen to look it up, page 161, and it mentions that when you make the roll with that skill, then if you spend hope, then you can get the magical success.
Got it. That's what it is. Okay, so you can spend hope to essentially succeed immediately without a roll.
Right, an automatic success, and then you will still roll the d6s just to see if you have any additional successes.
Got it. Okay.
And
Awesome.
anyone with useful items, the same thing goes. If you have an item that will give you a bonus on a roll, which in fact I think Link has something that helps with travel. Link has.
Do I?
You do. You have a detailed set of maps. Let me have you re-roll that travel roll and add a bonus die to that.
Oh, I gotta remember that. So, I think I did it right.
Well, that looks much better. There we go. A great success. So in that case, we go 4 hexes. Let me mark that on our map. Okay, and let me roll to see who the target is. It is the Scouts, and the event will be a terrible misfortune. Everyone will gain 3 fatigue, and if the roll fails, the target will become wounded. So we're nearing the foothills of the mountains, and Vidar and Frór, you find a pass that you think could perhaps be a shortcut, and there's a storm brewing off to the east, and you want to find some sort of shelter before this storm gets here. I'm going to let, rather than just make a single roll, I'm going to let the two of you do a skill endeavor to come up with the answer to this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say you have a short time, and this will be a simple endeavor. No, let's make it laborious. I'll say you have enough time and it's laborious. There we go. So you have 5 attempts. You need 6 successes, and this is just for Vidar and Frór. And tell me what skill you use and how you use it to try and find this shelter before this terrible storm overtakes you, potentially washing out the path.
Well, Frór is used to the wilds, and so he has his spyglass, and he will use that to scan the hills and look for a place where we might shelter.
Okay. And you get a success. Let me add this event on here. Okay, and that is 1 success. Let me mark that on here. All right, and Vidar, what do you do to try to help matters?
Yeah, Vidar's really not much of a scout, but he's well traveled. He's been on the road as most of his life, I imagine. So it's a little weird because Frór is finding a path, but maybe Frór is pointing out maybe here, and Vidar is like clearing it.
Might Haldor offer some assistance to his fellowship-focused Vidar and offer some rangerly advice?
Yes, absolutely.
Send a hope point.
Oh, he could definitely use it.
So that will give you 2 bonus.
And that gives you 2, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I need to adjust my own hope, correct?
Yes, I can do it for you, or if you want to reduce it, you can.
I'll grab it.
Wow.
Oh, goodness.
Oh.
Thank goodness. So a great success.
Yeah.
That counts as 2 successes. So describe for me, Vidar, how you go about this.
I like to think Vidar immediately set off on like an awful path, and then this, the ranger intervenes with perfect advice, and Vidar, he's enthusiastic, so he goes down the road pointed out to him.
Excellent. Frór, you're up. What skill, as you've now made your way maybe up into the mountains, perhaps if you can find a cave or something, some place where you can stay, how do you propose to try and find a cave?
Well, yes, the slopes of the Misty Mountains are dangerous, and we will need to watch our footing, so I will use my skill in travel to find a suitable place to rest.
And I think part of that skill means that you need shelter, and that finding shelter is key. So go ahead and make that travel roll. Got 1 success. Nice. You have 2 more attempts. You need 2 more successes. Vidar.
Ooh, okay, so having, sought shelter, maybe Vidar will use his own scanning skills to seek, some kind of shelter. Now that we've moved somewhat, a cave sounded like a good idea.
Go ahead and make that scan roll. Excellent. You got a success. It's going to come down to the last roll. So we have one more attempt. We need one more success. Frór, you're up. Now you could cheat and make it a magical success, although that's not cheating. It would cost you a point of hope, but that would be completely allowed if you have something that would give you a magical success. So perhaps you find a cave, but are you the only one that has found this cave? Is this cave the home to something else? Are you going to go from the frying pan into the fire?
Well, I will use my awareness, being always ever cautious, to make sure that our cave is our own.
And you got it. Just as the storm sets in, you find a cave, and there are no signs of occupation. There's no bones, there's no scat, there's no fur. You do find some, but it's very, very old. This has not been occupied in at least a season. Nothing over the summer has used this cave, and you think that this will be a safe place for everyone. So no one becomes wounded. There will be some fatigue. Let me dump the fatigue on the journey log. And spending the night in that cave, it's pouring rain outside. You can see there's room enough for your mounts in the cave. You bring them in, but you can still see the steam coming off their bodies as the air begins to get chill this autumn night. Do you brave a fire while you're in here?
I would vote for that.
Anyone object to the fire?
Seems reasonable.
Around the fire, the two dwarves, you're nearing the homeland of the dwarves. You've probably been in the Misty Mountains before, but you're on almost a sacred journey, and your conversation that night begins to turn to Moria. And do either of you speak up about what you might know of Moria, or any warnings for your fellows, or do you prefer to try to lift their spirits with songs of happiness and glad tidings? How does this night pass for the two dwarves? Vidar, do you do anything that night, or are you quiet and somber, or do you speak up about what is to come?
Ooh. Yeah, Vidar's not really the somber type, actually. I've been quite quiet, but I don't think Vidar is.
Right.
He's always one to take an opportunity to give a pep talk. It's we had to run quite aggressively today to seek shelter from the storm, but we've made it, and it can only go up from here, surely.
And Frór, what about yourself?
Well, yes, I come, little Hobbit, and I will play a song for the party that it might lift their spirits. I will even produce my viol, that it might be the cave might be filled with the wonderful sound of my singing and my song.
What? First, give me a song roll, and with your viol, I think you get to add a die to that. What song do you sing?
I will sing perhaps the travel song that we had learned from Gathald Zigil.
Yeah, the Song of the Hidden Circle.
Yes, to raise the company's spirits.
Let me, I'll post that into the chat here. Stone has a mouth, yet never speaks. Iron has doors, yet never creaks. Who walks the deeps may pass or stay. What secret hand shall show the way? Not sword, not crown, nor gemlit hoard, but circle wrought of silvered ore. It finds the path no eyes can see, and ever returns to the bearer's knee. One tooth bites iron, old and grim. One shines with Mithril's argent rim. One bears a crown, one axis crossed. One guards the vault of treasure lost. The circle hides what eyes conceal. It shows the clefts of stone and steel. No thief may keep it, none may bind, save gift of hand or end of time. What walks with king, O delver true, forged of fire, born anew. It opens halls, both lost and deep. It goes with kin, yet none may keep. And as you sing this, songs do something special. Let me grab the song. So, this is a walking song. What this will do is you make a song roll, and if you pass, you ignore the effects of being weary for the length of some sort of heroic venture, which would be when we arrive at the Dimrill Dale. You can ignore the effects of being weary, as this song seems to lift hearts and spirits. And you're allowed to do a song once per adventuring phase. So I'm actually going to mark on our fellowship that we've used this song. Let's see, I'm going to click this. This may... I'm not sure what this will do. Oh, it's asking me to roll for you. Let me just see if it automates something. Oh, there we go. Okay, so yeah, it just ignores the effects of being weary for the length of the venture. And so through the journey up until we reach the Dimrill Dale, and normally you don't add your fatigue until after you've arrived. So I'll give us a day with no weariness before the weariness sets in. Let's do another journey roll. So a travel from our guide, from Link. Excellent. That takes place 3 away. That is actually going to put us... We're going to be close.
Woo.
We are... Alright, let me roll to see who the target will be. Oh, the lookout. It's going to be Fatimer. A mishap. If you fail, 1 day is added to the length of the journey, and you will gain 1 additional fatigue. So this is an awareness roll for our lookout. We have reached the Redhorn Pass. The Redhorn Pass, I've got some notes here. So the Redhorn Pass is the difficult crossing of the mountain, but it can be crossed. The path climbs amid many twists and turns and is often blocked by many fallen stones or runs along deep ravines. This is a perilous location, so we have to make 2 mandatory journey events when we cross the pass. We are right at the brink of the pass, and so we need Fatimer to find a safe path as the lookout. Make sure that we're not going to be spotted or accosted. And with a Gandalf rune, we get an automatic success. And so everyone will gain 2 fatigue. Let me mark this down. Fatimer, tell me how you go about your scouting here, or as far as lookout. What are you looking out for specifically?
Well, I think this whole journey I've been paying a lot of attention to the scenery, and I've been very impressed and curious about all the environment that we're going through. So I think I would be able to spot details in the paths, and I would be looking out for safe places where we can cross and walk through.
As you're doing this, you spot a paw print in the mud, and it looks like either a very large dog or a wolf. You've encountered wolves before, and you know that you managed to get the upper hand on them, but here in a mountain pass, you have little room to use it at your advantage, and this is their home domain, and it might be a little more treacherous. So seeing these tracks, maybe you choose an alternate path, and in doing so, you avoid a terrible mishap of stumbling into a wolf den. Now we need one more travel roll.
Alrighty.
Perfect. So this is deep in the pass. This is actually going to get us nearly through. We need to do 2 events in here to get through this perilous location. So let me see who the target is of the first event. It's going to be the hunter. And I have a special table for the Redhorn Pass, so it's not going to use these normal journey events. And this is a perilous location, so we're actually going to do an ill-favored roll. So we're going to use the 5. And on this, it is a blinding blizzard. So if your hunting roll fails, we add 1 day to the length of the journey, and everyone in the company suffers a moderate endurance loss from the cold. So our hunter needs to find us another place we can hole up. And you know that there are likely bears or spiders or other terrible things in this area. You need to try to find us a cave using your hunting skills. Perhaps tracking an animal to its lair. And you succeed. So, no one suffers an endurance loss. There will be some fatigue that sets in. Tell me, Haldor, what do you do? What do you find?
Yeah, going through as it begins to snow pretty heavy, looking for some shelter here. I notice big old bear in our path and have enough wits about me to pause and wait for it to go about its way. And then as the coast is clear, I lead the party into a safe place to wait out the blizzard.
Nice. And I need one more target here. Let me see who it's going to be. Okay, well, we had our scouts kind of found that first cave. We're here in this second cave. You guys need to scout this cave out and find out what's going on. Let me roll to see what the event will be. Man, what a waste of 2 Gandalf runes on these rolls. Bitter cold. So there is... the cave keeps us out of the blizzard, but it is bitterly cold in here. If your scouting roll fails to find a place that's a little more insulated out of the wind, then the scouts will suffer a severe endurance loss from cold. So scouts, tell me what you do, and then you can make the roll.
Perhaps even rather than finding another cave, perhaps we could look for some trees that we might fell and build a fire that will keep us warm through the blizzard.
I like that. You can make your roll to do that. Oh, well, okay. You find some trees. You find enough and you're able to chop them. It's hard work, and this hard work is represented by the fatigue that you will gain, but you manage to block off the mouth of that cave and buy yourself some time to warm up in here. Do you dare put a fire? I think you almost have to have a fire in here because of this bitter cold, but because you have blocked off the mouth of the cave, hopefully no light will come out, and any smoke that comes out is going to be masked by the blizzard, so probably nothing to worry about there. But it's a very bitter and chill night that you spend in that cave. Let me put the fatigue down. And our journey.
In fact, I will even take off my warmest fur and give it to Fatimer that he might stay warm through the blizzard.
You mean you've had 2 pairs of gloves this whole time?
Well, it is the Misty Mountains.
Why, thank you, Frór.
Let me mark our map, and we will be ready. 1 second. Perfect. Okay. Let's go. Let's work out the end of this journey before we go to the next phase. And so, with this journey, let me pull up our fatigue. Okay, so right now everyone is sitting at 10 fatigue. Fatimer, yours goes down 1 because of your pony. And Vidar, yours goes down 2 because of your pony. You have a much nicer pony. Fatimer's probably has a sore back from carrying Fatimer. Frór, you also have a very nice pony. Link, you have a nice horse that will reduce yours by 2. Haldor, you don't take any fatigue, is that correct?
That is correct. The endurance of the ranger.
Awesome.
Got my traveling legs under me after the last few bouts.
Excellent. Now everyone can make a travel roll, and if you get a success, you eliminate 1 more point of fatigue, and any extra successes will eliminate additional points. And in this case, I know, Link, you've got a bedroll that will count, so you could make a roll with your bedroll there. It'll give you a bonus die. Oh, Fatimer with a great success. So Fatimer's gets reduced by 2. And Vidar and Frór have no success with their travel roll. How about for Link? Link with a great success reduces his by 2.
I need that too.
Perfect. And then we
Not doing.
you're,
Still too high.
but we're not going to add that yet because of the song. We're going to get a day before I add that on there. So, but you're going to be saddled with some pretty good fatigue. Going over the mountains is not easy. But we have made it. Let me pull up a yes.
In fact, as we pass over the mountains, Frór would like to see if the legends are true and see if he might spy Durin's tower with his spyglass.
Yeah, give me a scan roll. Now, Durin's tower, that's the one at the very top of the mountain, correct?
So the tales say, yes. It's the very peak.
I think that's the one that Gandalf and the Balrog fought on, and that's where Gandalf slew the Balrog. You are unable to see it because of cloud cover. But you do see a tower. And let me adjust this music here. We've got... let's see, where do we go? No, that's not what I want. There we go. You do see something as you come through the Redhorn Gate. You see a tower in ruins. And you are all, let me drag some tokens out for you. I'll show you where you are. Vidar, give me a lore roll as you come through the Redhorn Gate.
Ooh. Oh.
Look at that. So, you have heard of this place, Vidar, and what you have heard is that the Redhorn Gate was the old name for the pass through the mountains south of Mount Redhorn, which the elves call Caradhras. Ever it was a treacherous route over the mountains, but swift if fortune was with the traveler. On the western side, which you just came from, it climbs up from the hills of Old Eregion and crosses the slopes of Caradhras before dropping down the Dimrill Stair on the east. There one may see the remains of the citadel of Barazinbar, that was once the keeper of the Redhorn Gate. There are ruins all over the dale, but it has been 1,000 years since the dwarves dealt there, so little remains. The old citadel is the exception. It was built so well that parts of it yet endure. And from here you can see the ruins of the citadel of Barazinbar as you come down the gate. Frór, give me a lore roll. You have heard of a terrible ghost that dwells on the Redhorn Pass. The tales describe her as an old woman, her face hidden by a veil or cloud, and in the stories she preyed upon travelers in the pass, alive or dead. She was said to rip frozen corpses open to eat the blood in their veins. Her house is a cave mouth high in the mountains, a tempting place to take shelter if caught in a storm. The day is swiftly passing into evening when you arrive. The sun is just setting as you see the slope descend down into the citadel of Barazinbar. It looks like it's all just a mass of ruins. A great mass of tumbled and buried stone, with a few walls and towers emerging from the snow like fingers of a dead man. The ruins would offer shelter from any storm that might blow down off Caradhras. Although if you've gotten down as far as Barazinbar, most travelers might push on down the Dimrill Stair down into the more balmy climes of the dale below. Although traveling the stair at night may have its own dangers. How do you proceed?
I think while curious, Haldor probably hangs back and will take the lead of dwarves, knowing his place here.
Well, perhaps it would be best that we wait to enter the dale, as it would be best to do it by daylight.
Do you camp here? There seems to be a cave not far from the path, or you could go seek refuge in those ruins.
Does it look like there may be orcs or bandits that may have taken refuge in these ruins?
Well, give me a scan roll. You look around and it's difficult to tell. It's very dark. You don't see any signs of smoke from cooking fires or anything like that. You don't see any movement around. But then you spot something, and it's at first you pass over it like it's nothing, and then you come back to it, and it's a shield. If this were left here by the dwarves, it would have been rotted or rusted away, but this black shield seems in good condition, if not for a few dents and scratches. But there's some sort of symbol on the shield. It's in red. You can't quite make it out, but it looks almost like a circle, perhaps with something in the middle of the circle.
Well, can I make a riddle roll, though I suspect I know the symbol?
Yeah, give me a riddle roll. You study it more closely. It's not just a circle. It's almost a flattened circle. It looks like a stylized eye.
Well, this is likely signs that there are orcs nearby, though I think the ranger would know more about this than I would.
Make a riddle roll, Haldor.
See. There's. All right, this is gonna be a rough one. Come on, Gandalf room.
You have no idea what this might be. There's, you've heard the tales of the Second Age of Sauron and Mordor, but it's been so long, it's almost, is that really a thing? Players, you might know that this is the Eye of Mordor, but as far as your characters know, you're not sure what this is. One thing that you as players might also know is that Mordor has made no push towards taking Moria. There are Moria orcs living in there that came down from Gundabad, not from Mordor. But as players, looks like Mordor orcs are setting up shop here. But again, as characters, this maybe it's just some orc clan that has adopted some red eye motif on their shields. But there is definitely a shield. It's leaning against some rubble near one of the broken buildings.
I'd say we're probably in no condition to fight after the long journey. Regardless of who it is, we should probably take up in the cave and rest a bit, and, as mentioned before, come back during the day.
Stellar idea.
Any objections?
No, that sounds fantastic.
What about from the dwarves? Any objections?
No, it sounds like a fantastic plan.
What about Fatimer? Any objections?
So are we going to be taking shelter in the cave or the ruins?
I think the cave is what it sounds like.
Yeah, that was what we said, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there is this cave right over here, if you all can see that. Let me zoom my map in. You can go ahead and move your tokens over to that cave if you like. The cave is icy inside. There are icicles hanging down like great stalactites. And the floor is a sheet of broken rock covered in slick ice. There are, for a large cave near a path, there are no signs of fire pits or anything of that sort in here. It seems as though this cave is either new or perhaps it has been frozen up solidly and is only now melting. You know, you can't be certain. But no matter what, it does seem that this might be perhaps a safe place to rest for the night. Give me 1 second.
Well, before we go to the cave, I should mention that I've heard tales that there may be evil things that dwell in the caves near the dell.
Well, it wouldn't be an adventure without that, would it?
Into the cave, then?
I simply wish to let you all know that there may be dark things in those caverns, but it may be better than what we would find in the ruins.
Could I do a little sneak through the cave to give it a once-over before everybody decides to settle down for the night?
Why don't you give me a stealth roll first to see just how sneaky you can be, and then you can give me an explore roll.
Stealth first. Yikes.
That is going to increase the eye awareness. You think you're being very quiet, however, it's very echoey in this cave. There's nothing to break up the sound, just walls of ice that reflect it, and you're painfully aware of your footsteps. But if you want to press on, you could make that explore roll.
Yeah. Let's explore. Oh my goodness.
Okay. Deep inside the cave, as you are exploring, you're separated from your fellows by a not a great distance, maybe 30 or 40 meters / yards. But you come into an area, kind of a side passage, and it's there that you first see the bones, and these bones are. It looks like a humanoid skeleton. You can't tell if it's human or orc or elf. It's not a dwarf or a hobbit. It's larger than that. But there's bones down on this icy floor, and I've got some artwork. Let me grab it really quick here. And it will, a picture's worth 1,000 words. And let me just grab this real quick. If I can post this into the game. I think I can do it from here. Did that show to all of you? Do you see the image?
Wish it
Yes.
didn't, but I
Oh. Yes, 1,000 words, and they all start with F.
So, this is what you see. Deep inside the cave dwells Red Nails, the ghost of someone or something that died here long, long ago. And as you are exploring, Red Nails, ancient and ravenous, awakens, and she begins to creep in the darkness up above you, over your head. And since you rolled the eye twice, you are unaware of this. Now, oh boy, let's go to the combat screen. Grab Red Nails. Oh, I got an old enemy on here. Get rid of him. And drag us all into combat. Thankfully, we don't have our fatigue yet. I don't know that that's going to matter much. Okay, so there will not be an opening volley unless anyone other than Haldor can succeed on a scan roll.
So I have my magical book that I got last time that helps me with scan. So could I use
Yeah,
that?
maybe you're reading through here and there's an entry in here about Red Nails, and you're like, oh, that's fascinating. It sounds like this cave.
Yeah, so could I use hope to make that a magical success with my book?
Yes, if you want to spend a point of hope to make that a magical success, you can.
Oh, wonderful.
Nice. So, Vidar, Link, and Fatimer, you see this. Frór, you do not. You're probably so worried that, gosh, I hope this isn't that cave I've heard of, that it ends up being. So, Vidar, Link, and Fatimer, you can fire an opening volley if you want at Red Nails.
Red Nails, I like that.
Nice.
Oh,
shite.
Okay, let me... Okay, well, thankfully Vidar succeeds. Let me see if Red Nails can make the protection roll. Red Nails does make the protection roll, but Red Nails will take the 3 damage.
Hearing arrows whiz by my ear, not knowing what is going on.
You're like, what? What was that, guys? All right, you can choose combat stances. Everyone else is still in rearward except for Haldor. You could choose forward, open, or defensive. Everyone else, it would take you a full round to sprint up with handheld weapons. And so if you don't take rearward, then you're spending your turn to run up there, which is what Frór is doing. What about Vidar, Link, and Fatimer?
Yeah, Vidar will go open, and he'll be taking his turn to run.
Okay. And then, let me switch you to open. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So, Haldor, when this close round starts, let's see, where is it? I thought there was... okay, you can go ahead, Haldor.
Yeah, I think having recently almost lost my life against some other undead scum, I'm going to rush right into forward and swing a little wildly and aggressively at this thing.
Nice.
I need to choose it as a target first. Doing that right. Doesn't seem to want me to select it as a target.
If you... let's see, what color is yours? Yours is orange. If you hover over and push T, it doesn't target.
Ah, there we go. I was trying to use target toggle and clicking it, but that worked.
Perfect.
Alrighty. We're coming in 2 hands. And you know what? We're spending a hope point.
I was going to say, this might be a good point to do it. Do you also want to spend a fellowship point to make your roll favored?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let me reduce the points by 1.
We're coming in with a hope, with favor, 2 hands. Is this still kind of above me at this point?
Yep.
Kind of straight.
Because this foe is so large, you can add an additional 1 die to this. It'd be tough to miss.
Alright.
It's pretty big.
We are swinging.
Oh, a 10. Sweet. That's what we want. Let me grab this.
So I believe I am going to pierce it.
Well, it's already going to be
But I
piercing,
think-
so you don't need to change that.
Right,
'cause you got a
right.
10.
That's right. I'm going to choose the fend off for my special success after I stab this thing to kind of jump back into a parry stance prepared.
All right, let's see. Red Nails make a protection roll. So Red Nails is wounded. However, Red Nails will spend a point of hate to cancel that wound. Red Nails will take 5 damage. Nice. Red Nails, make sure what Red Nails is not wounded. Yep, perfect. Okay, and then we've got Vidar and Frór are both running up. So we go to Link and then Fatimer.
Okay. Link is going to stay rearward and fire his great bow.
Ugh,
But not shoot great.
that one killed you. How about Fatimer?
I will use a point of hope.
Okay. Nice. Score a hit. 3 damage to red nails. Nice. And let me grab this. Let's see. Okay, and then it goes to Red Nail's turn. Come down, Red Nails. Red Nails has Might 2, so Red Nails can make 2 attacks. And these attacks are going to both be on... no, one's going to be on Haldor, and one I'm going to roll a die. We'll do odd is Vidar, 2 is Frór. So Vidar. So one on Haldor and one on Vidar. Red Nails reaches out a hand, and this hand, as it sweeps down upon you, will... Oh, helps if I target. There we go. Oh, fails on Haldor. And on Vidar. Ooh, fails on Vidar. Barely. Excellent. We go to the next round. So now you can change stance. Does anyone want to change their stance? All right, Haldor, you're up first.
All right. After parrying away its claws coming at me, going again. Time for a nice straight stab. 2 hands. I think once again we are going to spend a point of hope here. And it looks like I already have a bonus die. Is that?
Yep, that's from forward stance.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Awesome. And we go for a stab. There we go.
Oh, nice. With the Gandalf rune. So we'll deal damage, and let's make a protection roll. Another wound. Going to spend another point of hate. Excellent.
And it spends those points of hate to avoid being wounded?
To avoid being wounded, yep. This one also has Deathless, so it can spend a point of hate to cancel a wound, and whenever you drop it to 0 endurance, it can spend a point of hate to bring it back to full endurance instead. And so you kind of have to grind out the hate out of it. Yeah. Let's see. We got the wound there. Vidar, you're up next.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And if you recall, actually, Haldor, you may recall that there was something else against undead that really seemed helpful from last time.
Yeah.
And so, Vidar, go ahead.
Yeah. Inspired by Haldor's really good fighting, he's gonna try to jump in and hit him with Drawer's Judgment.
Ooh, nice.
I will use a point of hope.
Excellent. You can make that a... No, you can't make that a piercing blow, but you can make it a heavy blow.
Yeah. And that's what he will do.
15 damage. Holy cow.
Oh, wait, we do want to wound it before damaging it, but, you know.
But you, with an axe, you can't... like, axes don't pierce I don't think
Oh,
you have
right,
instant
right.
to pierce. Unless you roll a 10 or a Gandalf rune.
Ooh, yikes. Okay.
But you can also, if you can drop it to 0 endurance, that will also... it'll use a point of hope or a hate on that as well. Frór.
Right, and then fully recover all its health.
Right. So wounding is generally the best. Frór attacks and hits for 5 damage. Nice. And Link, you're up, and then Fatimer.
Alrighty, gonna try that great bow again. I'm gonna spend.
Down to 24 endurance.
I'm gonna spend a hope
Okay.
and pray.
Oh, missed it by 1.
Why do they call that a great bow? That thing is
He's
shite.
a terrible bow. Fatimer, your turn. Oh, Fatimer, look at that. Great success. It's you can make it a piercing blow. Nice. Let me roll a protection roll. It is protected, but it will take the endurance damage. Nice. And then red nails. I'm going to roll 2d3. And that's going to be the targets for this between the people in close combat. So it's going to go after 1 and 3, which is Haldor and Frór. So Haldor first. There we go. And wow, this thing is for as imposing as I thought this was going to be. You guys are doing well. And this one's on Frór, as these red nails, ragged. Oh, there we go. Oh shoot. Well, it's going to be a piercing blow and a seriously heavy blow. Okay. So, Red Nails has a special thing. So, 2 things are going to happen. Well, 3 things. Let's. You need to make a protection roll, Frór. Perfect. You're going to take 14 damage, which will make you weary. So let me mark weary on your character. You will also be grabbed, seized. So what Red Nails can do has a special thing called Drain, and the attack can use the seize special damage, which is something that enemies have, like you have pierce and heavy blow. They can seize. It grabs you, and then while you're grabbed, it will drain blood at the end of each round that you remain seized. Every time it does this, it inflicts a piercing blow, so you have to then make a protection roll. It's automatic, and you'll take a moderate endurance loss from poison. Now, when you are seized, there is you're limited on what you can do. So let me grab this. This is from the book. So when you are held, you can only fight in forward stance, making a brawling attack, and you can free yourselves if you get a special success from a successful attack roll. So you need to get it like a 6. So all you can do is forward stance, and all you can do is brawling. But if you get a 6, like a success and a 6, then you break the seize. Otherwise, you are in a world of hurt right now. Okay, so let's go to round 3. So I'm gonna put Frór in forward stance because you have to be in forward stance. Anyone else want to change stances?
Yeah, Vidar will go into forward as well.
Okay, I'll go ahead and move you up to forward. All right, Vidar, you are up first.
Okay, well, Vidar doesn't know about the wounding thing, so he's just going to keep wailing
Yeah,
on
you
it.
just see that right now Red Nails has Frór in her hand, and those red nails are digging into his body, and he's crying out in pain.
Can I use a hope and then use its distinctive features, right, for inspiration?
Yes, yep, that would make
Could I
you
use,
inspired.
like leadership? Because, this is my boy. This is my fellow Dwarven adventurer.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you spend hope, then you would get a +2 bonus instead of just a +1. Nice. 8 damage.
I'm glad I'm not weary. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, yet.
Not yet. Let's see. Oh, she's down to 13 endurance before you push another point out of her. Haldor, you're up.
I'm gonna go swing in. I assume at this point she's still big, but more or less at eye level. I'm gonna take a baseball bat swing at the head with my sword. Right.
Nice.
And I have one special success. Okay.
Yeah. And I don't think you could make it a pierce. You got a 6. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to make it a piercing blow.
Yeah, I think I am going to go ahead and heavy blow this one.
I'm going to say if you can drop her to 0 to where she has to use hate to recover, she would let go of whoever she has grabbed. So let me apply the damage. So she is sitting at 2. Oh, man. I think someone's going to get her to 0 before Frór dies. Frór, you're up. All you can do is a brawling attack. Oh, man, you got a 6. Oh, and you missed it by 1. Ugh. Okay. Link.
I'm gonna do what I do. Come on, it's gotta hit sooner or later. Later.
Yeah, later. All right, Fatimer, can you prevent Frór from an early demise?
So we know that the undead don't like fire.
Right. If you recall,
So-
below that ruined tower, they lost hate every time they were near
Yeah.
a torch.
So if I could do something like lighting an arrow tip on fire or something, would that work? Or would
Yeah.
I have to be closer?
No,
to
if you shot it with fire, it would extinguish the fire when it hit it, but that would count as being fire. So I would also say that dropped it by a point of hate
Okay,
for that fire.
cool.
Now you're gonna need to make a roll to get that lit because you're under stress in combat. It's probably I'll give you a choice. It's probably like a travel roll to do that. Traveling is typically when you're going to be lighting fires and stuff, but you could also make a craft roll. I'll let you choose.
Those are both really bad, but I'll go with travel. And I'll use hope. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So it's on fire. You can shoot. In fact, with an extraordinary success, as you fire this flaming thing, all of its attention is turned to you. You can add a bonus die to your attack.
Cool.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. So 2 things will happen. One, it's going to drop Frór, it's going to lose a point of hate. It's going to take 3 damage, it'll then invoke Deathless, which will cost it another point of hate. It will then make a protection roll, which will cost it another point of hate.
First time Fatimer is useful in combat.
Nice. So, holy cow.
Hobbit's pulling through when you need them most.
I know, yeah.
But then it goes back up to max endurance. But
This thing
that
has
was impressive.
so much.
It has 7 points of hate, so it still has 2 points of hate left.
So it used 1 point to go back to full endurance. It used 1 point to avoid being wounded, and it lost 1 point from the fire.
That's correct.
So that was a 3 hate shot that just happened.
That's incredible. So that was awesome. Its turn. It will. Let's see who it attacks. Of the 3 people up front, let me roll a 2d3. 1 is Haldor, 2 is Vidar, 3 is, well, it's going to be Haldor and Vidar. So Haldor first. Those nails come in. Oh, the Gandalf rune counts as a 0, so that's a fail. And then the same on Vidar. Oh, man.
Thank you, Gandalf.
Yeah. All right. Anyone want to change their stance?
No.
All right, Vidar, you're up. Frór, do you want to go defensive or do you want to stay in forward stance?
I'm just gonna flee on my turn, so.
So you need to go rearward. Sorry, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can go rearward as long as the enemy is engaged, which it is, or you can make a defensive roll, and if you succeed, then you can flee. But the easy one is just to go rearward. Perfect. So Vidar, you're up first.
Ooh.
And Haldor, can you do any better than that? Missed it by 2, Vidar. Oof. Missed it by 1. Link, you're up.
All right, this is going to be the time.
Are you holding your bow the right way? Are you holding it sideways, gangland style?
I may be shooting left-handed.
It's a left-handed bow. Frór, do you have a ranged weapon?
Yes, grabbing my side, I will retreat back to Fatimer, and I will draw out my short bow.
You could also do something else other than attack if you want to. That was not effective. Fatimer.
I want to try the trick with the fire again.
Okay, I need another travel roll.
And I'll spend hope.
If you do this twice in a row.
I hope so.
No, you don't get it lit. You can still shoot, but it's not lit.
Okay.
And so no bonus on this one.
No.
Oh, man. With those 6s would have been fantastic. Red nails. Let's do 1 on Haldor and 1 on Vidar. First one will be on Vidar. Ooh, here we go.
Yikes.
Vidar, you get seized. It's going to grab you. You're going to take 7 damage. And you are seized. So all you can do is a brawling attack on your turn. And then this one is going to be on Haldor. And Haldor, you're going to be seized as well. And you're going to take 14 damage. Now, you do have an option. It's when you take a big blow, like 14 damage or more. In fact, I should have told you this, Frór. You can choose to be knocked. Well, actually, you couldn't be knocked back because it's grabbed you. Let's say it was swinging a sword. You can take a knockback, which is where you take half the damage, and you end up getting pushed out of close combat, and you have to spend your entire next turn getting back into close combat. You can't do that if you're being grabbed. So you're going to take the 14 damage. From that, I'm going to mark you weary, and you are both grabbed. Things just went from bad to really bad. So again, you can only fight in forward stance, and you can only do a brawling attack. Let's go to the next round. Anyone else going to run up, or are we going to keep the rearwards where they are? The other two have to be in forward stance. All right, Vidar, you can only do a brawling attack, and you need to get a success plus a 6 to break the grab.
Oh, that was almost a 7. I don't think it would have mattered.
And Haldor, same.
Is there a brawling attack? Is it just unarmed?
It's under combat proficiencies. At least that's where I found mine.
Yeah. So
the
above your combat proficiencies should be brawling.
Got it. Okay. And then it gives me that's fun. I am going to spend a point of hope here.
Okay.
Swinging on this thing, trying to knock its arm a little limp so I can squeeze away.
Come on. Oh, almost a Gandalf rune.
If only I had not been so weary.
So weary. All right, Frór. You move back to defensive. You're getting back in it.
Yes, seeing that it's grabbed 2 of my companions, I will do what I can to free them. Gaining a little bit of his courage back, he will let out a Dwarven war cry and charge back into the battle.
Okay. Gandalf rune, sweet. So it's already going to be a piercing blow, so you could do additional damage. So let me give it a protection roll. No, it's going to spend a hate to dispel that.
Does it drop one of
Yes, it will drop one of them. Which hand do you chop it in?
Well, who looks worse for wear as I'm charging back at this ghost?
Haldor is weary and is at 12 endurance. Vidar's at 21 endurance. So probably Haldor.
Well, knowing that Vidar is hardy and can stand against this ghost a bit longer, I will see to free the ranger first.
Perfect. So, Haldor, you are no longer grabbed. Link, you're up. This thing has 1 hate left. If one of the 2 archers can cause a piercing blow, no pressure.
I'm spending a hope.
Otherwise, Vidar is going to... Ooh.
There it is.
I don't think you can make that a piercing blow with a bow. Does a bow add 2?
Yeah, it won't.
Yeah. 10 damage is good, though. We'll take 10 damage. Nice. All right, Fatimer. Otherwise, on Rednail's turn, it gets 1 attack, and then the other attack is going to be to drain blood out of Vidar.
Okay. I guess I'll try the fire again.
Okay, it's on fire.
Yes.
Just gotta hit it.
And I get the bonus dice? for
Yes,
that?
with
Okay,
the
cool.
fire. Okay, you hit it. So that is going to spend a hate or it's going to lose a hate because of the fire. So it is at 0 hate. It will drop Vidar. And it will take 3 damage. It will then make an attack, and it can be one of any of the 3 in close combat. Let's see who it will be. 1 is Haldor, 2 is Vidar, 3 is Frór. It will be the 2 dwarves. So first up will be Vidar. It drops you and then immediately grabs at you with those red nails. And misses. And now Frór. And Gandalf comes to the rescue again. Alright, this thing is vulnerable now. Anyone change their stance?
No.
Vidar, you're up. Nice. 8 damage. Haldor.
We're going in swinging again. 2 hands. Oh, so weary.
The weary gets you every time. Alright, we've got Frór. Alright, Link.
Alright. Would this be taking a dice off because my fatigue is higher?
Is it taking off a dice?
My load is 26 and my endurance is 25.
Oh, yeah, so it's got you weary.
Oh, okay.
Or actually, you should be weary. It doesn't have you marked as weary. There we go.
Okay.
Now you're weary. Missed it by 1. Fatimer. Red Nails goes for the 3 frontline fighters. 1 is Haldor, 2 Vidar, 3 Frór. Goes for the 2 dwarves again. Going into Vidar. Ooh, now Vidar, you can take this hit. You can take it, or you can be knocked back. It's 7 damage.
Well, it's 7 damage, but it grabs you if it hits you, right?
No, it didn't have enough to grab you. This will just be a scrape with crusty nails. Do you want to take that 7, or you can take half of that? We'll round it down to 3, and you get knocked back, which would mean you would forego your next action.
I think Vidar would probably just take it.
Just take it? Okay.
Yeah, I knew that would make him weary, but
Yep.
he doesn't like running away or getting knocked away if he can avoid it.
Let me mark you as weary. And then the next attack is on Frór. Oh, Gandalf. Nice. Alright, anyone want to change their stance? If not, Vidar's up first. Nice. Can't make that a piercing blow, but you can make it a heavy blow. And where are we at? that endurance. Oh, one more hit like that may do it. Haldor, you're up.
Let's see if we can make it happen. Swinging again, top to
Ooh,
bottom.
man, look at
Very
that.
nice.
Thing in half.
Well done.
I don't think you can make it a
Oh.
piercing blow, but if you make it a heavy enough blow...
Yeah, we're gonna double heavy blow this, so adding 10 damage to the usual.
Haldor, how do you do it?
Nice.
Ideally, symmetrically, separating the left half from the right half.
Nice. Sweeping right down the middle, there's a blinding flash as this spirit is cloven in half. And as it disappears, 4 of the 5 of you collapse to the ground, panting, overcome with exhaustion and weariness. But the cave is yours. Where do you go from here? And then we'll take a quick break.
I think to sleep.
So she had she been able to get that grab and the next round put those claws in, you'll take poison damage, which once you're poisoned, you can't rest. You have to have a healing roll, otherwise you'll eventually hit 0 and then start dying. So that could have been incredibly fatal. I think our Hobbit saved the day by knocking off 3 of the 7 hate
I know, that was
that
awesome.
Red Nails had. You can definitely do a short rest. Let's do that first. Everyone can do the short rest, which will
Was
recover.
anyone wounded in that? I don't think they
No,
were.
no one
right?
had any wounds. So everyone can recover their strength score and endurance. And did Vidar take a rest? There we go.
Nice.
And Link, you... How come you're so heavy? What's got you weary? Why is your...
I had a lot of fatigue.
Oh yeah, so you have left. Oh, your fatigue should be. We're not going to add that fatigue just yet. We're going to add it after we take a rest now. So, you'll be weary, and so in fact, I'll take that off, but we're going to add it back on in a second. So we weren't going to have that for a day because of that song. It kind of inspired us a little bit, so we weren't going to have that that fatigue. So
what you're saying is every one of my bow shots would have hit.
Probably.
All right, good to know.
Yeah, normally we would have tacked the fatigue on as soon as the journey was over, but we were going to hold off a day because of the song, because it means you can't be weary during, whatever that endeavor is.
Okay.
So we'll do a short rest that everyone recovered some health from. Our treasure hunter. This was a formidable foe. What do you think is likely deeper in this cave?
Well, if there's not a great treasure it was guarding, then perhaps other adventurers have fallen to this evil foe.
Oh, it was guarding some treasure. There was a greater hoard in here. A greater hoard, roll 2 success die, so 2d6. And this will be times 5 is how much treasure we find. Oops, /R 2d6, not R/. So 45 treasures. And then I need you to roll the feat die 4 times. So do /R space 4DF. And do we get any Gandalfs or Eye of Saurons? No. So no magical treasure is found here. But we do find 45 gold, gems, silver trinkets, things like that, things of value. Now we are also going to probably camp here for the night. This would be a very safe place to camp for the night. So we can all do the prolonged rest. And then I'm going to add the fatigue on there. And your fatigue will drop by 1 because you've had a prolonged rest. So let me go back to our journey, and then I will manually put the fatigue on. Why don't we take a short break, about 8 minutes. I'm going to put the fatigue on everyone. When we get back, we will. It'll be dawn, and we'll be able to explore more of the citadel of Barazinbar. I will see you all in about 8 minutes.
Corpses up under charged through the open gate. The flame of the dragon tried to seal an awful fate with a handful of dice. 5 times I rolled 20. The dragon goes down. The DM bloody. I leave with the princess. A satchel chock full of gold. We head to the tavern where my mighty tale unfolds. Crafted from numbers on living paper. I skip from the mundane to a medieval caper. While in real life, my fate is unspoken. Hero roll of the dice and my fate is unspoken. The king honored me with a mighty crossbow. It's blessed by the elves, he said. I thank him and I go. The life of a hero, struggling to stay alive. It's worth all the hardship though, 'cause now I'm a level 5. Level 5.
All right, I am back whenever everyone else is here.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Didn't think you guys were going to survive that battle. As I was preparing that, I thought, oh gosh, I hope they don't fight this, because it could have been super bad. But man, like, one, it was terrible at its combat rolls, and then just happened to get incredibly fortunate. Every time it was grabbed, there was something that could break the grab.
Yeah, that did. The highs and lows were quite extreme there. It was
Oh, yeah.
It was actually a really exciting fight. Now that we're over it,
Yeah.
during that I was like, oh yeah, we're dead. We're so dead. I
Yeah.
had no faith, but
When it had Haldor and Vidar grabbed, I'm like, are they both going to die or just one? Like, I hope it's not both. But yeah, that worked out well. Have we got a Haldor with us, or a Link with us, or a Frór
Yes.
Wildstep? Oh, Haldor's here. Once we get Link and Frór back, we'll be ready to continue. Let's get us back on the map here. There we go. Get rid of red nails.
I am back.
You're back. Excellent. We just need a Craig, and we'll be ready.
Well, well, as we rest, 3 cheers for Fatimer. You're quite the hero, Fatimer. I believe you saved us.
Yeah, the knocking 3 hate off all at once was an incredible stroke.
I know, that was awesome. I was surprised I could do that.
Maybe you'll go down in legend like Bull Roarer took,
Ooh.
or that strange Bilbo Baggins fellow. Of course, you need to make it back to the Shire to tell that tale, otherwise it will die here in the Redhorn Pass. So I've added the fatigue back to everyone. The only one that's weary now is Link. Every night you have a prolonged rest in a relatively safe location, your fatigue will drop by 1, and so Link will be weary until we get another good night's sleep.
Did Link take the full rest?
He did, but he's got some heavy gear. So Link has he's got a spear that weighs 3, a great bow that weighs 4, a shield that weighs 4, and a mail shirt that weighs 9. And so that is a total of 25 load, or 20 load plus 5 for his fatigue, and his endurance is 25. So his load is equal to his endurance. But as his fatigue drops, then that weariness will go away.
And you can choose to drop some of that.
Right, yeah,
armor.
you could drop your shield, like if we're getting into combat, just ditch the shield, or ditch the spear, and at least one more night of rest, and then the weariness will go away. And we will end up spending a few days, likely, in this neck of the world before we head back to Rivendell, probably a couple of sessions, and so the fatigue should drop out. During those rests, did anyone want to use any of the fellowship points to regain hope? We've got 5 points available.
I'll take one if no one disagrees.
Yeah, go ahead and drop
No,
one
I'm not
on
going to take
yours.
it.
And Frór, you're at 7 hope. Did you want to take one?
Sure, I will take one.
Okay, I'll put us at 3. So we have 3 fellowship points left.
And we'll adjust our own hope for that.
Yes, please.
Just want to make sure I'm not doubling up.
Right. So at dawn the next morning, looking out over the ruins of the citadel of Barazinbar, it's still eerily quiet. Although if you want to make another scan roll with your spyglass, you can see if anything has changed from the previous night. Yeah, you can see that shield has been moved. It's no longer where you saw it. And you can see what looks to be in some of the fresh snow that has fallen throughout the night. You can see a series of tracks, and these tracks lead from this edge of the broken wall up into these little cliffs, these little caves up here.
Well, it's likely that we're not the only ones in this valley. I will point this out to Vidar and Haldor.
Good eye. Best to be on alert.
Now, Vidar, you probably know this tower. This was the crow's nest. It's remarkably intact, and this was once an observatory where dwarven astrologers watched the stars, perhaps warily. Elves love the stars, but dwarves are said to covet them. But now you can see it seems to be infested with crows. Crows flying here and there from the top of that tower. It is said that there is a great stair, the Dimrill Stair, that leads down into the Dimrill Dale. And if you look on the far edge of the map, you can actually see it way down there. You'd have to pass through the ruins to find an easy way down, or you can try and scale that cliff face on either side to try and get down. This side over here, on the right-hand side, looks like it has a frozen waterfall right there. How do you make your way down into the Dimrill Dale?
Well, perhaps we should send someone with more stealth down to scout before we all go down and alert someone.
Everyone looks at Fatimer, who's picking his nose. What?
Yes, Fatimer, you're rather stealthy. Being a hobbit, perhaps you might want to scout.
Well, okay.
No, hobbits are very stealthy. They're also very, I don't want to say cowardly, but they tend to be a little bit cowardly.
And Fatimer, you can take my cloak. It will help you to avoid being spotted.
Well, thank you very much.
And is your cloak one of your items? Yes, it is. Your dark cloak gives you a 1d bonus on a stealth roll. Fatimer, what route do you undertake? Do you go into the citadel, the ruins, or do you scout around? There's the side that has the little caves. It looks like something was coming in and out of there, or there's the other side that looks like it has some sort of cut, maybe a cut staircase in the flanks of the Silvertine, a path that leads up and down the slopes.
I think I would maybe want to scout around in the cave areas first.
Okay, so like over in this area, like over here?
Yes.
Okay. You've made your stealth roll. Give me a... You can do explore if you're just checking out the area as a whole, or a scan roll if you're just checking like one of the caves in particular. And you can add a bonus die to that using your great success on stealth.
Okay, I'll do an explore.
So you can see the tracks from here, and there's a great number of them. They seem to lead back and forth from these caves down into the city. And it looks like they're not animal tracks, these are boot prints. And they're large boot prints, like man-sized boot prints. Could be men or elves or perhaps even orcs that are in these caves. And you can hear the sounds of low talk. Some hushed, quiet whispers and some speaking, and you get a smell that's coming from those caves. And to a hobbit's senses, it's very foul. It smells like sweat and odor and grease, and very unpleasant coming from those caves.
Okay. I don't think I want to go any nearer on my own.
Do you explore anywhere else?
I'd like to check out the other side, scatter on the other side.
Yeah, give me an explore roll for that. As you check out the other side, all you see is that cut stair. You can kind of see the lines of it here. It seems to lead up at a very sharp angle, higher up into the mountains, up above the level of the clouds at present. But it looks like you could skirt around the citadel and access these sheer cliffs over here and perhaps find a way down there. Otherwise, you're going to need to go through the citadel. Do you want to check out the ruins?
Yeah.
Give me another explore roll. Your luck has finally run out. You are exploring in these ruins, and you hear sounds coming as you come. I'm going to move your token. As you come through this gate down here, you enter into the ruins, and once inside here, you can hear sounds coming from this building. And you hear a voice call out, "Hey, what's that out there?" What do you do when you hear that whisper?
Is there like something I could hide behind?
Yeah, there's a lot of tumbled down buildings, bits of masonry and rubble. You can give me another stealth roll. Oh, you're good at that. You see a figure emerge from this building. It's an orc, dark-skinned, dark armor, with a huge red eye emblazoned across the breastplate of its armor. It's carrying a scimitar and a spear, and it begins to poke and prod around the ruins near you. I smell meat. And it sees your footprints and begins to head in your direction. Now, Frór, with your spyglass, you can see this. You can see this orc guard or soldier, whatever it is, coming out of this building, nearing where Fatimer is.
Well, I will call Link. Link, look through this spyglass. I believe our Hobbit is in danger. I'm not sure if you can make a bow shot from here, but we may need to go and save our Hobbit. It seems that he's found some orcs.
If you want to take this shot, I would give you a bonus die because you're on elevation, but a penalty die because of the range. So it would be just a straight roll. This could be awesome.
I can do my best.
The problem is you're weary, so good luck.
Well, I'm gonna hope a lot too.
Do you want to spend a fellowship point to make this roll favored?
Yes.
Okay, you can do that. I'm going to remove a fellowship point.
Do you have any distinctive features like being tall that might help in a situation like this?
You are tall and fair. Tall would definitely help. Again, a little more elevation.
Can I try and inspire Link to perhaps aid him in this shot?
Yes. Now, he's not your fellowship focus, but you can spend a point of hope to give him an extra bonus die. And Link, if you put down your shield before you take this shot, you won't be weary. So rather than remove weary, when you go to roll it, when it asks if you're weary, slide that over to not weary.
Okay.
I'm going to assume you put your shield down. So
then you'll should be what? Favored +1 from the help, +2 from the hope and distinctive feature.
Yep.
Well, every time I try to target and pick my bow, it tells me you need to select a token that isn't included in the combat tracker.
Okay, yeah, let me put you in combat. That's the problem. Okay, now try it.
Okay. And I'm going to have how many dice on it?
You'll be favored, you'll get 3 bonus die, and make sure it doesn't say that you're weary.
Surely, Link,
Okay.
you can make this shot. It was your line, I believe, that brought down the great terror of smog.
Yes, it was. So I get 2
You'll be
2 feet dice.
Yep, so you'll have 2 feet die, you'll be favored. You'll have 3 extra success die. 1 because you spent hope, and 2, and then another one because of your distinctive feature, and then you get 1 from help from Frór as he's, sighting you in with the spyglass, like your spotter.
Okay, I think I got it.
And then just make sure that you're not weary. Oh, you hit him. Oh, awesome. Okay. It's not enough to kill him, but it's a hit. Where do you hit him?
Oh, right in the chest.
Nice. Square in the chest. And you don't hear it. You're too far away. But Fatimer, you hear a squeal. Ah! And he falls back into the building, clutching his chest. And you can hear him crying out in that building. Fatimer, what do you do?
So he's making a lot of noise.
Kind of.
Well, I'm gonna have to take him out then.
Okay.
Carolyn.
Let me add Fatimer to the combat. Let me take Link out of the combat. Alright, Fatimer, you can choose a stance. There's no opening volley. No, you know what? There is an opening volley, because you can rush in and he's laying on the ground. You can fire with your bow. You're only about 10 feet away, so you're going to get a bonus die on that.
Awesome.
Because he doesn't know you're there, and you're prepared for him as you rush in.
No.
Okay, now we go to normal combat. So you need to choose a close combat stance. Do you want forward stance, open stance, or defensive stance? Forward stance gives you a bonus die.
Yeah, I'll do forward.
Okay, you're up.
Okay.
Oh, Fatimer missed it by 1. Alright, he will go. Let me just move my tracker. Did you add a bonus die because he's still on the ground to your short sword attack?
Yeah. It was added.
It'll already have 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should get an extra 1 because he is prone on the ground. So roll a d6 for me.
Okay.
Because yeah, that just rolled 2 6-sided die. It should have been 3 because he's prone. Oh, /R 1d6. Close enough. That will make it a hit. Now your sword, it won't make it a piercing blow, but your sword does 3 points of damage. Let me give him the 3 damage. And now it's his turn. He will leap up to his feet, and he will slash at you with his scimitar. You need to make a protection roll as he cuts into your belly. Okay, let me apply this. Let's see. You need to make an injury roll. So on the chat bar it has make an injury roll. Click on that one, please. Ooh, 8 days. For this wound. Alright, let me apply this. Fatimer, it's your turn. One more wound like that and you will be dying. And everyone else, what's going on? And Frór, you can see that Fatimer went into that building, but you can't see anything else. You maybe see a few shadows shifting here and there. You can tell that there is a battle going on in there.
Can I just leave?
If you want to leave, you need to go into defensive stance, which I can do that for you. And then you need to make an attack roll. And if you succeed, then you disengage and you can get away.
I will spend hope, and I think I'm the fellowship focus for Fatimer.
So, gain 2 dice, Fatimer. That 1 killed you. Ugh. Alright. The Moria Orc.
Can we make our way down
Yes.
into the town at
Yep.
this point?
Are you being stealthy or are you just charging in?
I think that I would be as stealthy as I can while also being as quick as I can.
Give me a stealth roll. Anyone that's charging in can make that stealth roll. Nice. Yeah, you can get in easily without being seen. Not so much for Frór. You probably yell out a Dwarven battle cry. So, Haldor and Frór, what about Vidar? Are you heading down in?
I mean, he literally can't succeed unless he gets a Gandalf rune, but
You never know. You got a 1 in 12 chance.
yeah, sure. Vidar wouldn't want to be left out.
No. Link, are you going to stay up there or are you going to head down?
I will head down closer to be able to shoot more effectively.
So I'm going to, let's say you move down, maybe down to like here.
Yeah, I'd still like to have elevation on him.
Perfect. And then let me move, let's see.
So do I take a shadow point because Fatimer is wounded?
Yes, yeah, Fatimer just got wounded, so you'll take a point of shadow, and there's no roll for that. So it just, you just take it. Let me add you all into the combat for this next round. And with that noise, another guard is visible, climbing up on top of the ruins and looking out. And Link, you've got a close eye on this one since you're kind of in Overwatch, and you can see he has a horn around his neck, like a signal horn. Let's do. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
How far did we make it running down?
You are probably to this gate.
Okay.
So let's. In fact, let's move you guys down there. Down to probably about there as you charge in. You can all, so you would all be in rearward. Fatimer, you're up first. You're still in defensive. You want to try and still make a retreat. Just need to get a successful attack roll and then you can retreat. Oh, a Gandalf rune would have been awesome. All right, Link, you're up first. You can see you're the only one that can see this guy right here with the horn on his neck.
So This guy here has a horn.
Yes.
Oh shit. Okay. I'm gonna go after him. Because Fatimer's gonna have business handled down there. So, okay, and a hope dice, and go.
Nice.
Yay!
Deal damage. Excellent. Vidar, you can just continue to run. You actually don't have any sight on that guy, so you'll continue your run. Same with Haldor and Frór. The guy with the horn, he's fumbling for that horn. I'm going to give him a roll. If he rolls an Eye of Sauron, he blows the horn this round. Otherwise, he's going to try to blow it next round. Nope. Okay, so he's fumbling for the horn, but he just took an arrow, and he's looking around, trying to grab the horn, pull the arrow out of him. He is effectively out of combat. Fatimer, this one is going to lay into you with a scimitar. And miss. Okay, next round, you guys will be in the city, so I'm going to say you're about at the midpoint. So at this point, you can see the other guard in the ruins. The three of you can. Frór, I assume you're running, since that's your fellowship focus, straight over there. You're
Yes,
almost there.
don't-
One more round and you'll be there.
And I don't think Frór would be trying to be stealthy, so
Right.
I don't know if that helps him get there faster.
Yeah, so probably next round you can be there. The problem is they're inside the building, so it's going to take you a little time to get into the building. But you guys can choose if Vidar and Haldor... Vidar, if you want to take a close combat stance, you're close enough. Vidar, you could probably do a ranged attack on that guy. And then Frór, you don't have anyone to attack, but if you want to take like a close combat stance, you can. Fatimer, do you want to stay in defensive?
Yeah.
Okay. Frór, you're up first.
Yeah, I think Haldor might tell the dwarves to go save the Hobbit, and could I try to make I passed the stealth check, so ideally, well, even though
Yeah.
they're looking, they might
Yeah,
not
give you a
see
bonus
me.
die. Yeah, they're more looking
Could
to
I
see where
do
that
a
arrow came
stealth or
from.
battle to jump up and try to, at the very least, wrestle this horn out of this orc's hand, or try to knock him off the
I love it. Yeah,
ruin he's
give me a
standing on?
battle roll.
Could I possibly use a point of hope and invoke both my swift and subtle distinctive features? To kind of
Absolutely.
quickly
Absolutely
sneak
swift
up?
for sure. And since you already passed the stealth roll, I think that's more than fair for the subtle as well.
Perfect. So we're gonna do. You said a battle.
Yeah, give me a battle roll.
I'll use the hope, and we'll be inspired.
As you're using your tactics to gain the upper hand.
And then you said an extra die for passing that
Yep.
last stealth.
Please.
Awesome. So we're rolling in, trying to quickly scale this ruined building and kind of just football tackle this guy off the building into the snow on the ground.
You get up there, you're engaged with him. It'll be an athletics roll to knock him off.
Let's do it.
Yeah, you bowl him off of the building. Now, when you fall, he's going to take damage. I'm going to roll a feat die. He takes 4 damage from the fall. He lands in snow. There are rocks beneath it, but he definitely felt that.
I like to think I'm shoving his face into the snow, trying to quietly suffocate this guy before
Nice.
any more are alerted.
So I'm gonna move him over to here. I'm gonna put you right next to him. That's gonna take up your turn. Frór, you're not close enough. Vidar, were you gonna go into close combat?
Yeah, I reckon.
What stance did you want?
We're charging it. I think forward makes the most sense.
Perfect. Vidar, you're up. You see this guy on the ground. Haldor just knocked him off onto the ground. In fact, his head is, you've got a straight shot with Dror's judgment if you want to bring that axe right down on his neck.
Right.
So add a bonus die. If you didn't already, you can roll an extra d6. You'll need to get a 6.
I need a 6, yeah. Oh, that's just teasing me.
Oh, man. That's awful. Close.
How did I miss the immobile on the ground target?
I know.
Well, not immobile, but...
Pretty much. Fatimer, can you make your defensive roll? Make your sword roll. You can do it. Gandalf? No Gandalf Road. Darn it. Link, you have a shot now, but it's gonna have a penalty die because Haldor is on top of this guy. But if you want to take that shot, if you roll an Eye of Sauron, you hit Haldor.
I won't take that chance.
Okay.
I will go ahead and shoot at the other one.
This one. So the only one you can see is the one that Haldor's on.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to take that shot, just don't get an Eye of Sauron.
Oh, surely not. And I'm going to use another point of hope.
Oh, nice. Piercing blow. Oh, no, it wasn't a success. Oh.
What?
Shoot. Oh. Dang.
I thought it was 15 to hit.
Yeah, looks like it's a 17. He must have a parry. Yeah, his parry is 2. So, shoot. So it adds 2 to the target number.
Oh, okay.
Dang. Haldor, you did your action. The guy on the ground, he is going to try to break free. This will be essentially like a brawling roll. It'll be with his scimitar, but this is not to do damage, just to break free. Oops, hang on. Target the wrong person here. Oh, with an Eye of Sauron, yeah, he manages to break free. So this won't be a damage to you, even though it probably says you took damage. You don't need to do any of that. He manages to get free and regains his feet. And then Fatimer, the one on you, is going to, as you're trying to defend yourself, backing away out of the building, he's going to take a sweep straight across at neck level, trying to take your head from your shoulders.
Oh.
No. All right, we go to the next round. Frór, you are finally there as Fatimer backs out of the building with this orc in tow. Frór gets right up and charges into the fray. Vidar and Haldor, you're on that other orc who has now regained his feet, bringing his horn up to his lips, and Link, you've got a clear shot at that guy. Anyone want to change their stance?
I don't think I ever set.
Yeah, in fact, you're in rearward, so would you be in forward, open, or defensive?
Oh, yeah, we'll go forward with this guy.
Nice. Vidar, you're up first.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, Gandalf rune. Nice.
Oh, nice. I saw
There we
1, 2,
go.
4, and then I saw the text, and I'm like, what?
All right, let's see. Can he make the protection roll? Oh, he is protected with an Eye of Sauron. But
He's been very consistent.
he takes a huge blow. This blow might actually take him out. Yes. So you don't pierce him, but you knock him over, and he is bleeding out. And he puts the horn up to his lips and trying to blow, but all that happens is the gurgling blood comes out of a wound in his neck, and it's frothy and foamy, and he can't quite get the sound to come out of the horn. It's just kind of a pitiful wail, like a 6th grader learning trumpet for the first time. Haldor, your turn. This orc has fallen. Do you want to pick up that horn and blow it?
I don't think that I want to blow the horn. You are withdrawing.
Probably for the
I may
best.
keep it on me for maybe another day.
Perfect.
Grab that, and then I think I'll make my way. I can't choose rearward now that I've already kind of set forward, right?
That guy's dead, so you could actually change.
Yeah, I'll go rearward and I guess wait my turn. And
Perfect.
I'll shoot at the other orc when my turn comes.
And you can see him across the citadel there. Frór, you're up. Oof. That's going to do it. How, I think. Let's see. Yeah, how do you take that guy out?
I think Frór does as he's charging in, he does an overhead throw, and the axe spirals in and hits him in the chest, and takes him out.
Nice. Fatimer, you're wounded, but you are no longer being pressed by this orc. Frór has come to your rescue. What does Fatimer do?
Can I try to, patch myself up?
You can try to heal yourself. You get 1 shot at a healing roll. Go ahead and take it.
Is that per person or
It's
per
wound. So you can wait for Haldor if you want. He's significantly better at it.
Okay. I'll do that.
Got a little leftover king spoil in my pocket.
Yeah, you get 1 shot at this recovery, and then you just have to wait the 8 days. So you will still retain the wounded condition until those 8 days are up. Link, give me a scan roll from your elevated position.
Absolutely.
You
Didn't
see,
scan nothing.
Well, you see movement, and you're not sure what it is, and it's going to mean that since you didn't see it, you're not going to be able to take a shot this turn. But from those caves come a host of orcs hearing the sounds of battle. They're not charging in, they're coming out to see what is that noise. We heard shouting, and we hear the clang of metal. And from another building comes yet another scout. Let me add these guys in. And let me go to the next round, and we will have an opening volley. I need a scan roll from everyone. If you pass this, you see these people charging down and can take an opening shot. You can also do this, Link. So everyone give me a scan roll. If you pass, you see the host approaching from the Orc Warrens. Ooh, an Eye of Sauron. That means we up the eye awareness. Frór, you're the only one that... No, Vidar, did you make your roll? Give me a scan roll, Vidar.
Okay. Oh, yeah, alright. Fingers crossed.
Oh, the two dwarves. You see it. You see the orc host. As dwarves would, it's almost like you get the smell in the air before you see them charging down the hills. The two dwarves can take an opening volley before any other actions are taken. That's assuming you have at this range you'd need like a bow or something.
Oh. Well, that fits. He tries anyways.
Yeah.
He's not the smartest.
It makes it to the wall.
For the stairs, Fatimer, I don't know that we would stand much chance against such a host. Although we can't leave the others behind, we'll have to.
Does Fatimer make for that little tower, a little sniper's nest, to rain fire down with your bow?
Well, I think Frór's advice would be wise. To leave before they get here.
Well, where would Fatimer want to go? You know that one more wound, you will be dying. Not dead, but dying.
Well, there was the this hillside.
You could try sliding down that hill. That could be treacherous. You could probably make that tower and those stairs before the orcs get there, but they may harry you all the way down. Or you could make a stand here. You count at least 7 foes.
Is there any structure that looks like it may lend itself to be fortified, or even a point where we could thermopylae past them and kind of...
Probably the best place would be maybe the tower, or if you can get down to the stair, like the doorway here, you would be fighting on a staircase, and they could only come at you probably single file. If you get on this long stretch of stair all the way down here, you may take shots from stones. You don't see any bows on them. They have spears. They may throw spears or rocks, stones. You could just try and make a run for it. Otherwise, you could hole up in the tower. There's only one way in, one way out. This building here, you could maybe make a last stand. Or maybe this building here would suffice. But the best way, the only choke point is going to be that tower, to either lure them in or out the bottom.
Kind of feels like, being both outnumbered and wounded, we should probably try to get in a place like that.
Well, did Frór, do you have a bow? Did you take your shot? Your opening volley?
I do have a bow. I will take a shot.
You do get a shot if you want to. You can shoot it at this scout that's down here, or at the orc soldiers up there on the hillside.
Yes, I will take the shot at the scout to try and clear our way to the Dimrill stair.
Nice. He needs to make a protection roll. He is protected, but he does take damage. Nice. You can now, everyone can choose, well, we're still in long distance fighting, so if you guys want to do a round with bows, or you can forego your attack and just hustle. The weak link's going to be Link, who is really far away.
I think that maybe Haldor shouts so that he can be heard. Frór should probably take Fatimer to the tower to kind of fortify. Vidar, maybe you can make your way, and Link and I can try to fire a few shots and join you once we can.
Because those orcs in those caves, it's going to be 2 or 3 rounds before they make it into the walls. It's also going to be 2 or 3 rounds before Link makes it. Probably 2 rounds for Link, 3 rounds for the orcs. But then you have 1 orc that's within the walls already. So, Link, do you want to fire, or do you want to just run like hell to get into the town?
Oh, it is all assholes and elbows.
Link says, I think I'm actually going to go home, guys.
See ya!
Yeah.
So within 2 rounds, you're here, and these guys are going to be down closer to the wall. One more round, they'll be in the wall. But that means that anyone that was not moving would have a chance to take a shot if you have a bow at these guys. Was Frór and Fatimer, were you just making for the tower?
Yes, I believe we're going to wait in the tower while Vidar comes to us.
Fatimer, were you going up to the top of the tower, or are you going to stay in the bottom?
I guess I could try to go to the top and
Use your bow.
Yeah.
And then, Frór, are you holding the door? Are you Haldor?
I will wait in the doorway for my fellow dwarf.
Vidar, where are you going over the course of 2 rounds?
Yeah, he's heading for that tower. You know, Vidar dreams of holding the line against orcs. That's what he's made for.
Perfect.
It's the wise move.
You and Frór will hold the door. Haldor, what are you doing?
I think he'd wait for 1 round as Link catches up and fire a shot, and then when Link gets to him, kind of break together for the tower.
Go ahead and... So you'll actually have 2 shots then. It'll take 2 rounds for Link to get there, so if you want to take 2 shots...
Alrighty, we are going to target the first orc, and we are going to shoot our bow. We're going to go ahead and spend a hope point on this one. Yikes.
Oh. Take your second shot.
And we'll take the second shot. No hope this time. We're just going to believe in it. And nothing.
Darn it. Okay, now after 2 rounds, Fatimer, you're up at the top of the tower. Frór, you and Vidar are down at the base. We've got Link in the wall along with Haldor. Over the next round, you two can make it to about here. And these guys are going to make it into the wall. So we can do Fatimer. If you want to take a shot with a bow.
Okay.
There, you're targeted. And add a bonus die because you've got some sweet elevation. Nice. You can't make it a piercing blow, but you can make it a great heavy blow. Nice. Excellent. Vidar and Frór, you're holding the line. Haldor and Link, do you stop and shoot, or are you running into the tower?
I think that I'll run at least to the base of the tower to kind of hold the line with the dwarves.
You could still take a shot from there. Link, you could go to the top of the tower, and that would end your turn if you want to fire up there with Fatimer.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so that'll take your turn. So Haldor, you can take it 1 more shot with your bow.
Yeah. Fire at the middle one there, and
that is a negative. All right, now let's change our stances. So, perfect. You guys are 1 step ahead of me. Let me move these guys down in. This one is pretty wounded. Oh, come on, move in. Cannot move this guy. So there's enough that all of you down here will be engaged with 2 enemies. You've been here before. Let's see. 1, 2, 1, 2. These two on Haldor. Or on Vidar. And then Vidar, you're going to have one more on you. Perfect. Okay. Haldor, you're up first.
All right, I think Haldor goes swinging to the one right to his right.
That guy's
with his
badly
longsword,
wounded.
trying to take that one out.
Nice. Deal damage.
And we'll just deal a little bit of damage, but hopefully enough.
It is enough. How do you kill that orc?
We'll do it 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, just right across the top.
Nice. And I'll move this guy over just a hair. There we go. All right, Vidar, you're up next. Oof. The eye gets you again. Frór. Back to back with Vidar, you hold the gate. Nice. Get a Gandalf
Hey,
rune.
Gandalf.
That's what we like. Let's make a protection roll. Okay, how do you kill this orc? That was
Well,
impressive.
As he's charging in, I go low and take out his legs, and then while he's squirming on the ground, I drive my axe into his chest.
Nice. Link, you're up with your bow. You add a bonus die, you and Fatimer.
Okay. I'm just going to shoot down into the melee.
Nice. Another Gandalf rune.
Oh,
Yeah, we got up when we needed him. Blast.
Oh, okay. How do you kill this one?
Down with you, straight in the top of the head.
Nice.
Straight down.
He takes 2 steps and then just, like Ric Flair after getting punched in the face, he takes 2 steps like nothing happened and then just falls face first onto the ground. I don't know if any of you even know that Ric Flair reference, but if you grew up in the 80s, you know it. So.
You're lucky my kids are asleep, or I'd be giving you the woo.
Fatimer, you're up with a bonus die. Fatimer, look at that. You cannot make it a piercing blow, but you can make it a great blow. Or a heavy blow. Nice. Now, this one goes after Vidar. Comes in with the scimitar, raking across your chest, and fails to get through your guard. This one goes after, let me move him down. He's going to go after Frór. And misses. Oh, you guys are going to make short work of this, aren't you? Alright, this one's after Vidar as well. I need to up the difficulty for you guys.
No.
And then one more. This one is after Haldor. Wow. Okay. The next round, anyone want to change stances?
No.
Haldor, you're up.
All right, making my way around clockwise, going for the next one to my right. And we are swinging. I got a
Ooh.
7, not enough to pierce,
Not with a
but we
long
are
sword.
going to. We'll heavy blow it.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh, 11 damage. Let's see, is that...
I like to think that his
he's got-
last attack, swinging left to right, felled the first one, and he just comes right back with a right to left for the next one.
He's got 1 hit point. Almost got him. Frór, you're up. Nice. Dealing 5 damage. How do you take that one out?
This one, I just drive it right into the top of his head and split his skull open.
There's orc blood and brains all around Frór's feet. Vidar, you're up. A narrow miss. And Link.
Oh yeah, I'm on my way. I'll go after this one. And I'm even going to throw a hope die on there.
Oh, you can't make it a piercing blow, but you can make it a heavy blow.
$10 damage.
Excellent. Fatimer. Nice. Fatimer, how
All
do
we
you
needed
take
was
that
a
one out?
vantage point.
I know, right? How do you get that one, Fatimer?
I just aim straight down, and the arrow sails right between his eyes.
Nice. He hits the ground with a sickening thud. This one comes in at Vidar. Scimitar sweeping at groin level, trying to halt the line of dwarves. And he hits, but not for much damage. And then the next one will go after Haldor. Ooh. That's going to be a heavy blow. 7 damage to Haldor. You can do a knockback, take 3 damage, and then it'll knock you out of the next action. Or you can take the full 7.
I think I'll take the knockback.
Perfect. Go ahead and reduce you by 3 endurance, or I can do it for you if you need me to. Oh, there you go. Perfect. And then your next action will be recovering your step. So next round, Haldor, you recover. Frór, you're up. And you can, I'm going to move this guy so he's where you can see him. You can not make, oh wow. Okay. How do you take that guy out?
I will say, Vidar, lower your head, Vidar, and then I will leap over him and onto this orc, where I drive my axe into his skull and end that orc.
And then,
Beautiful.
and then Vidar, in fact, you probably like tumble backwards in a backwards roll and take Frór's position as he leaps over you in perfect dwarven choreography, and you can now make an attack on that orc there. And with that extraordinary success that Frór got, I'm going to give you a bonus die for dwarven ingenuity as you do this wheel of pain on this orc.
Oh.
And that's going to be a great success. Can you finish this guy? He's sitting on 12 hit points. How do you take him out?
Nice. Well, it was pretty well described. It's a beautiful. It almost seems like we've practiced this before, although we probably haven't. It's just perfect. It's efficient. Vidar takes him at the knees and then hits him in the head when he's on the ground.
Nice. You have won the day. You've taken the citadel of Barazinbar. You can maybe the Fatimer and Link come down from the tower. Fatimer is badly wounded. In fact, you're bleeding heavily from a cut. You probably show it to Haldor.
Yeah, can I head over and try to administer some epilas
Absolutely.
in the wound?
Give me a healing roll with a bonus die.
We're gonna come in with the bonus.
Nice. You got the success. That will reduce the severity of an injury by 1 day plus 1 for every 6, so there was only 1. So you will still be wounded, Fatimer, but now it will only take you 7 days instead of 6 days, instead of 8 days. And so then every time you take a prolonged rest, that will go down. Now, you can spend some time just looting these bodies here. They have scimitars and orc armor, all of which has that red eye on there. You can also go up into their orc warrens. You don't know if these are the only orcs here, but any loot they might have would be up in there.
Yes, we should see and ensure that they have not pilfered any dwarven artifacts that may have been left here in the citadel.
I'll hang back and stay with Fatimer if y'all want to go exploring and looting.
Then everyone that is not exploring and looting, you can take a 1-hour rest. So that would be Fatimer and Haldor and Link. Are you going to rest, or are you going to go check those caves? Yeah, so you will only gain hit points, Fatimer, when you take a long rest.
Oh, right.
And then you'll only regain your strength amount rather than all of your hit points. Which you only have 3 wounds, or 3 points of endurance loss, so you just need a long rest. Give me an explore roll, Frór, as you head towards those caves.
I think we'll go with them. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
double
Good
Gandalf.
lord.
Okay. Well, with the double Gandalf, you're going to find a lesser horde in there. Roll 1 die 6 for me. So you only find 5 bits of treasure. There wasn't a whole lot as far as money and stuff goes, but do 2 feat die. So /R space 2DF. You want a Gandalf rune or an Eye of Sauron here. And a Gandalf rune. Roll a d6 for me. Four. That is a wondrous item. This is an enchanted object possessing 2 blessings. Let me see what we've got here.
It's likely something they'd taken from the citadel when the orcs moved in.
You know what? We've actually gotten all of these things that I have already. Tell you what, we're gonna do this. You find a shield, and it's been taken into this cave, and there are dirty orc fingerprints all over it. But this shield is clearly of dwarven make. Now this was intended for Frór. This is your magic item, your famous weapon or item. It is the Shield of Smaug. This shield was made by dwarves of the Lonely Mountain from several scales of the great worm, Smaug. How it got here, you don't know. Likely pilfered, during the Battle of the Five Armies. Perhaps someone retreated here with it, or perhaps some of the dwarves of Dane came here on the same sort of journey that you are undertaking, and someone fell. Now, this shield is superior reinforced. It will add 2 to the parry modifier rather than 1. And it also has an additional magical benefit, which you will find if you increase your valor rather than taking a reward. You can unlock the reward on here, which is rune scored. Attack rolls against you are made as if the foe is weary, but you'll have to unlock that one. But this was intended for Frór, so this is your magic item. If you
Before
Yes.
I touch it, I will look to Vidar and say, Vidar, my captain, it is only proper that you present it to me, that we might say a dwarven prayer that might lift the evil any orcs may have laid on it.
Aye, you're well right, and we should, of course, cleanse it of filth and grime.
And as he presents this shield to you, when you receive it, you feel your arm strengthened. And this should have a parry of 4, not a parry of 2. It adds 2 to the parry. There we go.
Well, is that one I need to unlock, though?
No, that first one comes automatically. The superior reinforced. I had the wrong parry on there. Now it should be correct.
Vidar, your shield, I have a reinforced shield. Perhaps this is better than what you have. I would very much like the honor of using this great shield of Erebor, but perhaps my shield will serve you well.
I'd be honored. I do just have a normal, regular shield.
I'll make that switch then. I'll get rid of your reinforced shield. Now, you just last session, I think, spent your reward to get that reinforced shield, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I don't want that to be unfair. Let me do this. Let me ditch that. Let me adjust this one. I don't want to let you unlock the rune scored yet, but if you want to take a different reward, it seems kind of silly to blow your adventure points on a reward and then all of a sudden it's gone because you got something better right away.
Well, we could go over it at the end of the session if you like.
Okay, yeah, we can do that at the end. So let's come up with kind of what we want to do with that, because otherwise that seems kind of cheap. Like I don't want to feel like you're losing out on something like that. So let me see. So reinforced adds 1 to the parry bonus, so it'll be a 3 instead of a 2. So that will help Vidar. Now when things hit you, they have to get 1 higher than they had to before. Perfect. You can stay up here in the Citadel and rest for a day, but for the dwarves, you know that the Dimrill Dale is just down those stairs. Do you want to stay here, or could you hold yourselves back? It's like Christmas Eve, waiting for Christmas morning. Could you wait, or do you desire to see the mirror above all thoughts of rest?
Right. And well, Vidar's a leader. I think he's desperate, but at the same time, he's not going to leave without his team.
Well, maybe you have a council. What do you decide?
Yes, perhaps we should wait.
We have had a hard few days.
You want to spend the day here?
Might as well. I mean, We should be able to find someplace we can pound a door shut or something.
Yeah, we can rotate watches at the top of the tower and feel pretty confident, I feel.
Let's do a prolonged rest. And so you can all all click on the prolonged rest, and then we've got 2 fellowship points left if anyone wants to use those 2 points to restore hope. Right now, Frór is at 6 hope, Haldor's at 7.
I have more than both of you, so I'm good.
I'll take one if Haldor wants to take one.
Sure.
And they will refresh. Let me put your wounds at 6 days now as you spend the day here. So we're out of fellowship points. So we're near the end of the session anyway, so just as well. You rest. All the while, the dwarves, their sleep is troubled, knowing that the Mirror is nearby. Dawn can't seem to come fast enough before the dwarves are eager to be on their way. And as you head down the Dimrill Stair, the going is somewhat treacherous. It's cold, it's icy, but you take your time. This is not the time for haste and to fall. But soon the cold weather gives way to a bright, clear day. Here's the stair that you're coming down over on the upper right-hand side, and then you see it. You see the mirror stretching out before you. And from here you see you see 3 distinct things. The first thing that you see here is the mounds of Azen Nulbazar. I don't know if you can see my location. Let me draw it on here. The mounds of Azanulbazar. This is where a great battle was fought between orcs and dwarves. This is where King Frór was slain, and then the dwarves returned and slew Azog. You can see as well at the far end of the mirror a stone, a stone pillar. This is the Dimrill Watch. This is the Dwarf Road, and next to it is a pillar. It is at this pillar where Durin first gazed into the mirror and saw a crown of stones. This pillar, in about 50 or 60 years' time, this is where Balin will stand, where he is felled by an orc arrow as he contemplates the mirror. But that is far into the future. But that is where Balin will be slain. And then you see, last of all, and most enheartening, you see the eastern gate. You see the door that leads into Moria. You have arrived at the Dimrill Dale. Moria is at your feet. This is where we'll end the session. Before we do, for the 2 dwarves, what does this mean to you, to see this place? This would be like going to Graceland if you were an Elvis fan. Or going,
right, it's like a pilgrimage.
Yeah, absolutely a pilgrimage. What would this mean to Vidar?
Well, I mean, like anybody who dreams of this, Vidar was... I'm not super in on the lore, but I assume this, the fall of Moria was long before Vidar. He's only like 70.
Yeah.
So, he's never... you hear tales of this your whole life, and it's kind of expected that everybody should see it, every dwarf. So, this is a very soulful moment, I imagine.
Absolutely. And what about for Frór? What does this mean?
Well, this is very important to him, as he wishes to see that his homeland is restored and brought back to a state of peace. So to make it this far is quite inspiring to him.
For Fatimer, you have gone through the Rocky Mountain Pass, through the snow and ice, and here is a green place, a place of trees and grass and still water. What does this mean to the Hobbit?
Well, it looks like a very peaceful place, and I know it's very important to the dwarves, so I think I would be in kind of an awe, and I might sit down on the grass and just take it all in.
You suspect there's probably fish in there too. And Haldor, for a ranger, this is a place of great renown amongst rangers, also renowned to be a place of great danger. What does Haldor think of the Dimrill Dale as he gazes upon it for probably the first time?
Yeah, having only ever heard and never really been on this side of the mountains, this is all very foreign to him. He's a little hesitant, knowing that doesn't love being underground and knowing that's exactly where it's taking us, but also having only ever really seen ruins of structures of men, seeing this dwarven architecture both above and down here is a little awe-inspiring.
Excellent. And for Link, now the town you're from, it's a huge and expansive lake. This is but a mere puddle. You almost probably hesitate to even suggest, gosh, this isn't much of a lake, because you know that the dwarves would probably murder you right here. But what would you say, knowing that this little pond is of great importance to these dwarves?
Well, just having heard the stories and the lore of this place, I think to stand in the same place that a king battled and fell would be, it's right up Link's interests, and
this is absolutely a place where the history here, as a messenger, the history of this place is something that would be absolutely precious to you. Now the question is getting in. And from here you can see that eastern gate, that doorway into the mountain. Again, this is where the Fellowship came out of after Gandalf fell. But that doorway is shut. A huge boulder has been placed in front of it. And that's where we end. Now, let's dole out some points. So, we had enough treasure, I think, for everyone to take 10 points. We ended up with 50 total treasure. Let's see. And then everyone, if you haven't, you can remove one fatigue. Actually, you can remove, one fatigue because we slept one night. And then typically you cannot spend skill or adventure points until a fellowship phase. But let's talk maybe about Frór, about your reward. Do you want to take a different reward than that shield that you had?
Sure.
And the different rewards that you have available are, you can get something that is close fitting. This is armor or helm. When you make a protection roll, you add 2 to the roll, so you're less likely to be wounded. You can get an armor, a helm, or a shield of cunning make, which reduces the load by 2, so you're less likely to be weary. You can get a fell weapon, which adds 2 to the injury rating, so it's more likely to cause a wound on an enemy when you get a piercing blow. You can get Grievous, which does 1 additional point of damage when you hit. You can get Keen, which reduces the number you need to cause a piercing blow. Rather than a 10 or a Gandalf rune, you need a 9, 10, or Gandalf rune. Or Reinforced Shield, but you already have one. Do you know what you would want?
Perhaps Grievous on my axe would
Grievous axe?
Useful.
I can do that. That would only be fair. So maybe you're sharpening. Maybe give me a craft roll as we go through the process of you sharpening this to a razor sharp point as I make this adjustment.
Perhaps I will sharpen it on the dragon scales that the shield is made of.
Ooh, nice.
No metal could scratch those.
Add a bonus die for that. Nice. Yeah, it works out quite well. So that will now do 6 damage instead of 5. And let me add, just so we know you have something grievous on here. Any questions from anyone as far as kind of where we're at, what we're doing, or any questions game-wise, mechanics-wise?
Nope.
Perfect. So that pool of fellowship points will refresh for next session. However, you do not have, we're not doing a fellowship phase, so you can't raise your skills. You just amass those experience points, skill points, and adventure points until we probably get back to Rivendell. You also don't recover that hope until you spend about a week in a safe place, and so again, hope becomes more and more precious. We did have a couple of pretty tough battles. Hopefully we can do a lot more sneaking in Moria, but I'm sure we'll end up having to fight something. And we do have a wounded hobbit, so you have 6 days until your wound is healed. So for the next 6 days, you're 1 wound away from potentially dying. So we want to watch out for our little hobbit. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop the video. I'll leave the server up for probably an hour if anyone wants to tinker with their character or anything. Otherwise, I had a blast. Tonight was fun. I thought for sure someone was dying tonight, either during the first battle or the second battle. But man, the second battle was super easy, and the first battle was just like incredible luck and skill, of course, but mostly luck. I had a blast. Thanks, you guys. I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Let's do this again in 2 weeks. Oh, that reminds me. Let's hang on. We need to talk about that. So I was talking. We have a player that has a conflict for our next scheduled session. Now, we can continue on with that person not here, but it's kind of a big moment, like getting into Moria. So I am fine if we want to hold off and just meet up again in 4 weeks from now. Does anyone object to holding off and not doing next session?
No, not at all. In fact, I fully encourage that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's for me, like if it wasn't like a key moment in a game, like I wouldn't have a problem, but I don't want anyone to miss that. So let's go ahead and I'll cancel that next session, and so we will meet up again in November. It's going to be a long month, but we'll get through it. So awesome. I will post the video in the Discord, and over the next 4 weeks, feel free to chat in the Discord about the game, about what you think we should do once we get in, or how do we get in, or things like that, and start coming up with plans ahead of time. But I will see you all in a month.